1,000 feet, turn left onto South Village Green, then turn right to stay on South Village Green. Now turn
I don't see
right
no red
onto
on
Court
red,
Street.
so.
Now turn left onto Court Street.
Oh shit. Oh, lordy lord.
What was the name of the search engine you're saying?
Live search.
Live search? That
Live search. It feels like
I
something.
can picture the blue in the logo.
Live search? I know it's
I've never
real.
heard of it though.
I've heard of it, but I don't know if it was Microsoft. If I was making up a fake early generation internet search engine name, especially from I would call it live search because I'm searching the internet live.
It makes more sense than Ask Jeeves, but
I know
we all remember that. So.
Bing. I don't remember a time before Bing. Maybe I'm too young. I really don't remember. It used to be a great LLM at this point. Did you have a time base in there, or did you just say it was before Bing? Damn, I can't remember pre-Bing. There's like VC, PB, PB, and AB. Yeah, I'm exclusively a post-Bing tech person.
We just live in the post-Bing world.
So I think I have to choose the Zune one.
I'll go with... I'm somehow fighting... I don't believe either of them somehow. Or I do... Yeah, I don't know.
I remember Group Music. I don't... If they're still operating, they pivoted. So let's go with that.
Yeah, what's the answer? I need you guys to...
Okay.
Well, they just said they're still operating, right? So it's probably the other one.
So you think it's the search? I'll go with search.
I'm thinking it's search. Okay.
It's like,
guys,
Group Music is not operating anymore.
You guys had a 50-50 chance. We gave you that one.
It was
Locked into
What's funny is if you didn't say the other thing, I probably would have argued that we should pick Scottsdale.
Alright, well, this next one you guys need to get because 2 out of 3 of you have lived in this state your entire life. So,
guys, that's right. This final category, this final consumer product is the great state of New Jersey.
Well, I'm gonna get this wrong. Like you got about the top half of New Jersey.
First fact. The first baseball game ever recorded as being played was played in Hoboken, New Jersey.
The first baseball game?
The first baseball game that is recorded and we have the score and what happened.
Is that
It's so funny thinking of Hoboken now, but baseball has been around for a very long time. So
in true New Jersey sports fashion, both of the teams were named for New York City.
Oh my God.
It was the New York Knickerbockers versus the New York Nine. Guys, second New Jersey fact. New Jersey has a spoon museum in Paterson. This spoon museum has over 5,600 spoons.
Watch the technicality of
Guys,
5,599.
Third New Jersey fact. New Jersey's very own Atlantic City is the basis for the property names in the popular board game Monopoly.
That's true.
Shoots and ladders. Candyland. You guys ever played Candyland?
Hell yeah, bro.
Oh, you've never been to the Gumdrop Forest in New Jersey?
Got the Gumdrop.
Where Bally's is.
Okay. This spoons one, I have no idea. I've never heard of it, but it wouldn't shock me. So that's where I'm at with that one. The Monopoly one, I know that is true, and I believe there's no gotchas in there. That sounds correct.
Yeah.
So the first one is the first ever baseball game recorded was in Hoboken.
It's called Hoboken at the time.
The first ever baseball game was so long ago.
Yeah.
So long ago.
Yeah.
Hoboken, okay, to be fair, Stevens was founded in like the 1870s, but baseball's older than that, right?
What came first, baseball or Hoboken?
How old is the first baseball game?
Yeah, when did the Louisiana Purchase happen?
The first baseball game ever recorded? What year could that be? 1894.
BB before Bing.
Because I'm fairly sure.
1846.
Damn. So Stevens was founded in Hoboken in 1876. I guess it's possible that there was a Hoboken in 1846.
Wow. It's probably called, like, New York Extension at that point. New York across the river.
Oh, was that part of it? That they're called New York Nines and New York Knickerbockers?
Probably.
I have no idea.
So it probably
That wasn't part of the actual question. That was just more context.
the Hoboken thing?
No, the names of the
New York.
teams.
No.
The names of the teams.
I can't believe you haven't commented on anything that this was technically a Knicks game.
I know.
New Jersey Knicks.
They had Jalen Brunson.
I don't know. The Patterson Spoon Museum.
Jebediah Brunson.
No.
Might as well be the Spoon Museum. I have no idea.
I know very little.
I bet it wasn't called Hoboken, that's my guess.
I kind of think.
Is it a Fork Museum instead?
I kind of think the Spoon Museum.
I have no opinion.
The Spoon Museum seems like one that we would skip over and just assume it's true, and I think that's what makes it a good
Can I suggest that maybe we make this worth 4 points? So either you win or you lose on this answer.
All right, that's fine.
It changes my confidence in this question.
We're gonna just guess
0%.
anyway.
And your guess is?
Spoon Museum.
Spoon Museum is correct. Not just David was correct again. The Spoon Museum only has 5,400 spoons, not the aforementioned 5,600.
Wait, so the lie is not that there's a Spoon Museum.
No, there is a Spoon Museum in Patterson. It just doesn't have quite as
I
many
was
spoons.
actually right? Oh my god.
I thought there was a Fork Museum.
No. Earlier in the
very
episode,
first thing-
I said watch the technicality is going to be that it has
Like
55.99.
Yes, so they say over 5,400, so not the over 5,600 I said, which means you guys with your 4 points have taken it to 7 points, meaning you guys beat the hosts.
Can you play the?
We're all winning.
David, I would take us to trivia. However, I heard because you told me 30 seconds ago that we have breaking news.
Breaking news. This is WFRM. We're coming at you with some breaking news here. Finally, we're not late on a topic. We talked about Ring earlier and how Ring is going to not use Flock for its search party feature. It's kind of not going forward with it. Now, there's a new report from 404 Media that just dropped that has some leaked emails from the CEO of Ring, where he says, "This is by far the most innovation that we have ever launched in the history of Ring, and it is not only the quality, but quantity. I believe that the foundation we created with Search Party, first for finding dogs, will end up becoming one of the most important pieces of tech and innovation to truly unlock the impact of our mission. You can now see a future where we are able to zero out crime in neighborhoods. So many things to do when we get there, but for the first time ever, we have the chance to fully complete what we started."
That was the Ring CEO, not the Palantir CEO?
Yeah, it's the Ring CEO.
Oh,
So, they're like, dogs only, dogs only, dogs only.
Unless.
We are so lucky, man. Like, Ring Guy is gonna make crime zero. Sam Altman is gonna make cancer zero. Elon is gonna make poverty zero. Like, these guys just are so good.
They're so good at making things
Staying
zero.
alive.
Thanks, boys.
Sometimes there's a little bit too much skepticism, but I think that we have the perfect amount at this moment.
Well, you know what you should have more skepticism about?
Yeah.
My trivia questions. Because so often they require
Yeah, we haven't played
corrections.
trivia yet.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But we're about to do it now.
And then we're going to do another game in the next episode.
Surprise.
Playing games, boy. I got games, boy.
Quick update on the score. Marquez with 14. Still. David with 16. Andrew with 17. Carrying the one.
How long have I had 17 for?
It's been
I don't
a
think I
while.
have a point in the new year.
No, you have a point in the new year. It's just...
I don't have a
been like
point
3
since
or 4
Marquez
weeks.
complained about not having a point in the new year.
I think you haven't gotten a point in like 8 episodes.
Since whenever Marquez whined about it.
He cursed you.
He did curse me.
It's like you're the Philadelphia 76ers and Marquez is Jared McCain getting traded away.
Yeah,
God
agreed.
bless Jared McCain. Anyway, we spoke about the Pixel 10a, but the first A series Pixel was the 3a. Which giant manufacturer made it? And I mean like the company that actually manufactured it, not the one that designed it, because we all know Google designed it. There's your hand, Andrew.
BBK.
The great
Who's that?
blues musician.
I didn't think they existed anymore.
Flip him and read. What do you got? What'd you say?
I hope I'm right.
I said HTC.
David, what'd you say?
I said HTC.
Just right.
Wrong. Andrew, what'd you say?
LG.
Also wrong. It was Foxconn.
Really?
Yeah, you guys looking it up before confused you.
Well, that's a bummer.
I definitely thought you guys were gonna get that one. I was trying to throw you a bone. Now you're stuck with Alice's
Foxconn? You
crazy
thought
question.
Foxconn was throwing us a bone?
They make most of the phones in the world.
Yeah.
They made every phone, actually. I thought they did. Okay.
Well,
Question number 2. Guys, Ring was not always called Ring. Before they were Ring, they were called A. Doorbot, B. Campbell, C. Stoop Watcher. Also, I should have said Stoop Watcher does not have an E. It's just Stoop Watcher.
with an R.
Yeah, because this is like...
Oh, that does sound really odd.
Yeah,
I mean, it depends where they were headquartered.
Sesame Street.
Is that a real place?
Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Atlantic City with the rest of the Monopoly properties.
Right next to the gumdrop floor.
It's right into the gumdrop.
It's in New York City. Is it near a Taco Bell?
Campbell.
Okay, what?
And we all put something different.
No, Marquez and I put the same thing.
Yeah. Andrew and I put B.
Campbell, like the soup?
Yeah.
I wanted that to be right so bad.
I put C. Stoop Watcher.
No, it's called Doorbot.
You guys are on one.
Doorbot is a... What?
Doorbot.
It's a horrible name.
This makes it easy for me because I don't have to update the score graphics. So.
Used the same graphic for like 6 weeks.
I literally thought it was called Campbell.
Bro,
Instant cease and desist.
you guys are getting good at when we ask questions to like answer the questions on the fake things really believably.
Honestly, when Ellis said with an R, I should have known it wasn't that one.
Well, we tried.
Doorbot?
I think like most of this podcast was just Adam and I not telling the truth. Like,
And us like floundering and
Doorbot.
flailing.
It's bot?
yeah.
What makes it a bot?
It just seems like a cool thing to say. But yeah, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for hyping. If you are still hyping or able to, we appreciate that. Thanks for liking and thanks for rating us on whatever podcast app you choose. We'll be back with you next week, and that'll be what, Samsung event first? Yeah. See you soon after the Samsung event, and then the other event, and then the other event after that.
Where nothing new will be announced.
No, something from nothing will be new.
No, that's next.
No, that's the next week.
Okay, so nothing new will be announced from anyone.
New nothing is in 2 weeks. Nothing new is next week.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, perfect.
Waveform is produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Roven. Why did that sound so
You're doing
weird?
great, sweetie.
Waveform is produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Roven, partnered with Vox Media Podcast Network, and intro outro music was created by Vane Still.
This is all pure speculation. I'm not holding any of them in my pockets right now.
By the way, these
Wait,
are facts.
are you?
These are facts.
Good morning. The Supreme Court's ruling on Trump Trump's tariffs raises new uncertainties. Axios talks us through what could happen next.
It was really easy for the president to wield tariffs as a threat on almost any issue, and now it's a little bit more complicated.
Mexico's most wanted drug lord is killed, setting off a wave of violence inside the country. And the Winter Olympics draws to a close. The Athletic looks back at Team USA's medal haul. It's Monday, February 23rd. I'm Yasmin Khan, and this is Apple News Today. Businesses, diplomats, and politicians spent the weekend trying to make sense of the implications of the Supreme Court's decision last Friday to strike down the Trump administration's tariffs and the subsequent angry response from the president.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country.
After lashing out at the justices, Trump announced a 10% global tariff on imports, which later went up to 15%. The court's majority opinion said that the power to tax and impose tariffs belonged to Congress. Chief Justice John Roberts went further, adding that the framers did not give any part of the taxing power to the executive branch. Trump has a plan B, which relies on a different, untested argument based around a part of the 1974 Trade Act. Courtney Brown is a senior economics reporter at Axios and explained it to us.
Section 122, which dates back to the 1970s, says the president can impose tariffs if there is a balance of payments crisis, a big plunge in the dollar, for instance, related to a trade deficit. And there are some lawyers that have been quite vocal over the weekend in my inbox and on Twitter, other social networks, on television, saying that I'm not sure that really fits the condition of the United States right now.
That probably means more legal challenges. But it might not matter, as these tariffs lapse after 150 days without congressional approval. As businesses try to make sense of how this new tariff affects them, many will be wanting a refund on what they've already paid. Around $140 billion has been generated by the tariffs, according to one estimate, and it'll now be up to lower courts to decide what the administration's obligations are.
Justices said in the oral arguments that that process would be, quote, a mess. And I think that's right. I think it will be a little bit of a mess. The U.S. has done something like this before. The U.S. has sent refunds for tariffs paid, but not to this large a scale. And so there are so many questions about whether small businesses will have to go to court and try to get a refund, or whether it will happen automatically. No one knows.
A forecast from researchers at Yale suggested the tariff rate would only be about 2% lower than what it was before the Supreme Court ruling, thanks to Trump's retaliatory announcement. U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer told ABC that Trump remained convinced by the value of tariffs, even as polls suggest public disapproval.
The reality is we want to maintain the policy we have as much continuity as possible, make sure that business understands this is the direction we've been going, we're going to continue going this way, and there's been a through line. President Trump, Biden, and President Trump again, that we're going to have tariffs, we'll have tariffs on China, we'll protect U.S. industry. It's actually not as big a change as people might think that it is.
Brown from Axios told us that not much is likely to change for businesses working with countries that Trump has signed recent trade deals with, provided both sides honor the agreement. But it could still create uncertainty for those yet to be finalized. Officials for both the European Union and India are considering postponing ratification with the U.S. until the White House offers more clarification on its policy. Some analysts predict that, as before, the cost of these tariffs will be absorbed largely by U.S. consumers or businesses. But as Brown said, the new tariffs are less flexible, and Trump has lost a key lever he's enthusiastically pulled as he sought the upper hand in geopolitical negotiations.
When President Trump entered office for his second term, we had reported that we knew that he was going to do things a little bit differently on the trade front. Tariffs were going to be the absolute centerpiece of his economic agenda, and he was going to move fast and quickly to implement them. So his advisors decided that President Trump should rely on a completely unprecedented, untested type of power.
After the Supreme Court's ruling, Trump appears to have lost that power. killed the country's most notorious drug boss yesterday in an extraordinary military raid. It's a dramatic escalation in the government's crackdown against organized crime, and his death has sparked a wave of retaliatory violence. Nemesio Oseguera, known as El Mencho, was once a police officer, but became a drug dealer and rose to become the head of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, running a vast criminal enterprise. The operation that killed him was led by the Mexican authorities, but reportedly used American intelligence. At least 9 other cartel members were killed, and various weapons, including rocket launchers, were seized. Laura Gottesdiener is a senior correspondent with Reuters Mexico Bureau and explained Oseguera's significance.
He's been one of the top targets both for the United States as well as Mexico for many years now. Unlike some other cartel leaders and sort of narcos that you might see on Netflix, El Mencho's really kept a very, very, very low profile.
She told us the cartel he ran was one of the most powerful groups in the country, with a presence across the Americas.
It is a poly-crime organization, which means it is a criminal organization that does not just traffic drugs, although it does. It engages in human smuggling, human trafficking, forced labor, all sorts of financial schemes, financial frauds. It has a pretty developed timeshare fraud, so it defrauds mostly American retirees out of their savings by selling them timeshares that don't exist. It is really a broad and complex criminal organization.
The death of Oseguera has sparked violent clashes in response. In Jalisco, the western state where the raid was carried out, gangs burned cars and trucks to block roads, and in the tourist hotspot of Puerto Vallarta, several roads were blocked, and a video posted by the news site Reforma showed thick smoke rising from vehicles near the beach. The U.S. Embassy has warned Americans in the region to shelter, while multiple airlines have canceled flights to Puerto Vallarta. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum acknowledged the violence in a social media post, but said, quote, "We must stay informed and remain calm." Gottesdiener told us that Sheinbaum has broken with her predecessor by targeting these groups. She's deployed thousands of troops to try and tackle the violence, amid intense pressure from the White House to slow the drug trade into the U.S. But as Gottesdiener notes, the events of the weekend show that the government has a tricky balancing act as it weighs the potentially violent consequences of its operations.
The question here in Mexico is whether we're really going to see the country having broader outbreaks of violence in different parts of the country as a result of this crackdown. And that is another political consideration that the government is constantly always measuring how to crack down on crime groups without creating a situation of retaliatory violence.
The fire in Milan finally went out last night as the Winter Olympics came to a close.
Last to enter the stage is Roberto Bollet, who had previously lit the circle of water and fire.
The flames simultaneously extinguished in Milan and Cortina.
In total, Team USA is coming home with 12 gold medals, a record for the team, and they finished second in the medal count overall, behind Norway. There were some incredibly high highs, like Alyssa Liu's historic gold medal for women's figure skating.
The first medal for the American women since 2006, when Sasha Cohen won her Olympic medal. Incredible.
And the men's hockey team's dramatic win over Canada in the gold medal match yesterday.
The United States with numbers. Back across it comes. Jack Hughes wins it. The golden goal for the United States. For the first time since the 1980 miracle, the United States takes the gold.
That win came just 2 days after the U.S. women's hockey team won its gold medal match over Canada, also in overtime. But the overall results at the Games have been a little more mixed, with a number of high-profile athletes either succumbing to injuries or underwhelming performances.
So it's been a good Games, but it's not been good in the way that they expected it to be good.
Matt Futterman is a senior writer at The Athletic who covered the Games in Milan. He said the devastating injury suffered by skier Lindsey Vonn early on left a big impact.
I think a lot of people thought Lindsey Vonn was going to win. We all know what happened with Lindsey, and that was a real blow. It affected a lot of people personally who don't have anything to do with this team, and it definitely affected people on the team, and I think it affected much of the Olympics too in that first weekend.
A couple of other star athletes were also nursing injuries coming in, like Chloe Kim, the snowboarder who tore her labrum while training. She ended up falling short of a third straight gold medal. Jessie Diggins, thought of as the world's top cross-country skier, crashed and bruised her ribs during her first race and ended up gutting out a bronze medal. And then there was the surprise of 21-year-old Ilya Malinin struggling on the ice.
I don't know that anyone will be able to really rationally explain Ilya Malinin, the figure skater, all of a sudden just not being able to land those jumps. I mean, the jumps are incredibly hard, so I'm not judging him in any way, but he's a world champion. He was nailing those jumps, and all of a sudden he just succumbed to the pressure.
As for the host country, Futterman said it was a year to remember for Italy, with 30 medals.
The Italians have worked very hard and spent a tremendous amount of money to not repeat the horror of 20 years ago when they became the rare host country that won fewer medals when they were hosting the games than they did in the previous games. And that's sort of this embarrassment that they've been living with. So they were determined to not repeat that. They've been investing a tremendous amount of money in Olympic sport.
Overall, the U.S. still outdid itself in the medal count in these Olympics compared to last time in Beijing. But a group with such lofty goals bears lofty expectations. And finally, a few other stories were following. Law enforcement officers shot and killed a man at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida during the early morning hours on Sunday. The Secret Service said a man in his 20s breached a secure perimeter carrying what appeared to be a shotgun and fuel can. Authorities say he entered the north gate of the property in a vehicle before being confronted by the Secret Service and a Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputy. Trump and First Lady Melania Trump were in Washington when the incident took place. New York faces a second major snowstorm of the year today, causing widespread disruption. Thousands of flights have already been canceled. The city's public school students have been given a snow day, and New Jersey Transit has suspended its service entirely. Mayor Zohran Mamdani declared all roads closed to traffic until noon today, except for essential and emergency trips. Over 35 million people in total are under a blizzard warning, and more than a foot of snow is expected along large parts of the eastern seaboard. And finally, if you were scrolling the internet this weekend, you may have come across the story of Punch, a 7-month-old Japanese macaque monkey at a zoo just outside Tokyo. Punch went viral after his mother rejected him, and the young primate took comfort in a stuffed orangutan from IKEA, which has since sold out in stores. Videos showing Punch looking lonely, being shoved and scolded by fellow monkeys, then rushing back to his plushie for comfort, have captured people's hearts. Zoo officials say the sudden fame led to a doubling of visitors last weekend compared to the previous year, with even higher numbers expected in the coming days. Things may be looking better, though. Punch has been observed being groomed, getting hugs, and sitting with adult monkeys, all signs he's finally acclimating. Zookeepers say this is all normal, and they're encouraging people not to feel sorry for Punch, but to support his efforts at integrating. You can find all these stories and more in the Apple News app. And if you're already listening in the News app right now, we've got a narrated article coming up next. Bloomberg Business Week reports on how cryptocurrencies became the preferred method for drug cartels to launder money, and why law enforcement agencies are struggling to catch up. If you're listening in the Podcasts app, follow Apple News Plus Narrated to find that story, and I'll be back with the news tomorrow.
Hi, Crime Junkies. I'm your host, Ashley Flowers.
And I'm Brent.
Listen, you guys, if you have been with us long enough, you've probably heard me talk about The Gift of Fear. That is the title of the book by Gavin de Becker, but the message is right there. Some call it a sixth sense. You might even call it full body chills, depending on when it strikes you. But there is something intuitive in us that, if we trust, can tell us that we're in trouble. Now, it's not always an alarm. Sometimes it's this quiet feeling warning you of someone's presence, telling you that you're not alone. And that is the very feeling that woke up 19-year-old Rachel Hansen from sleep one June night in 2022. The adrenaline coursing through her spiked when she opened her eyes to find someone standing over her bed, staring at her. Rachel let out a scream, and that sent the person running out of her room, then out of her apartment completely, without ever uttering a word. And that should have been the worst thing that happened to Rachel in that Gilbert, Arizona apartment. But it wasn't, because the very next night, when Rachel was asleep in bed, just after 2 a.m., a dark figure entered her bedroom again, held up a gun, and shot her in the abdomen before fleeing. Was that first break-in unrelated? Or was it a warning, a bad omen of what was to come? To this day, no suspects have been named. And if you read the heavily redacted 338-page police file that the Gilbert Police Department released in 2024, you will learn a whole lot of nothing. But to leave it at that is not exactly the crime junkie nature. So our team did some investigating.
Oh, I didn't want to listen to this. I thought it was a part of the fucking news shit. So I was distracted by watching the road. I don't know. Sure. I'm almost there, so.
Welcome to 95 Mac Daily for Friday, February 20th, 2026. I'm your host, Chance Miller. We're sponsored this week by Stuff, the clean and powerful to-do list application. Leading off today, the usage of subtitles and captions in TV shows and movies is ever increasing, both due to the popularity of foreign language content and Hollywood's inability to produce an audio track where you can actually hear the person talking. With that in mind, in iOS 26.4, Apple is improving the subtitles experience in the native video player on iPhone and iPad, as well as on Apple TV with tvOS 26.4. With these updates, it's now possible to change the look of subtitles while in the midst of watching your favorite TV show or movie. This is because Apple has redesigned the subtitles menu in the native video player to include new controls for picking your style. Previously, this menu just allowed you to toggle subtitles on or off and pick the desired language, but now it includes a separate section for style. Default options include classic, large text, outline text, and transparent background, but users can also make their own custom styles, choosing design options like font, size, and color. All of these style settings were previously available by digging into the accessibility section of the settings app, but now you can find them.
Call me, question mark.
can find them right where you need them when you're actually watching a TV show or movie. The new functionality is available as part of the system's native video player, so it's available in apps including Apple TV and when watching videos in Safari. Any third-party app that uses the native player will also have this option, but if an app has used its own custom video player, it will not get these new options. Next up today, according to a new report from the New York Times, survivors of the catastrophic avalanche near Lake Tahoe this week used emergency SOS via satellite on their iPhone to stay in contact with first responders. Don O'Keefe, the chief of law enforcement for the California Office of Emergency Services, says that the 6 survivors of the avalanche used emergency SOS via satellite to communicate with the Nevada County Sheriff's Office. O'Keefe said that one of his personnel was communicating with one of the guides over a 4-hour period, giving information back to the sheriff's office and coordinating what rescues could be permitted. The skiers were part of a 15-person group on a multi-day trip through the Sierra Nevada mountains. While 6 survived, 8 were killed. 1 person is still missing and presumed dead, according to CNN. Emergency SOS via satellite is supported on iPhone 14 or later, as well as the Apple Watch Ultra 3. The feature kicks in when a user does not have cellular or Wi-Fi connectivity and attempts to contact emergency services. The user is then presented with a questionnaire that gathers information about their emergency, and their iPhone will guide them through the process of pointing their device to the sky to connect to a satellite. The feature is free for 2 years after the activation of an iPhone 14 or later or Apple Watch Ultra 3. Apple has a detailed support document on its website on how to use the features, and you can go to the Settings app on your iPhone to go through a demo. This way you know how the feature works if you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to use it. We are sponsored this week by Stuff, the clean, powerful to-do list app that makes organizing long lists effortless, checking off tasks satisfying, and tracking your progress simple. You can add tasks by typing, talking, or using the camera, and it turns what you're thinking into actionable tasks right away. Lists and Stuff are built like completable projects, so that trip you want to plan or the business you want to start can actually start to take form step by step. Download Stuff today for free at trystuff.app or by searching Stuff in the App Store. And to enjoy everything Stuff has, 50% off your first year of extra stuff with code 9to5 at checkout. Get stuff done and start enjoying your to-do lists again. My thanks to Stuff for sponsoring the show. Rounding out today, new references uncovered in macOS 26.3 reveal multiple new Apple hardware products coming soon. This comes ahead of Apple's March 4th special experience. There are new references to 2 new Studio Display models, as well as the often rumored low-cost MacBook powered by the A18 Pro chip. The references were uncovered inside kernel extensions in the public release of macOS 26.3 last week. The low-cost MacBook referenced is powered by the A18 Pro. It's widely expected to be released next month, featuring a display under 13 inches. It will also reportedly be made from aluminum, and Apple has tested multiple colors, including light yellow, light green, blue, pink, classic silver, and dark gray. Perhaps more interesting, however, are the references to 2 new Apple Studio displays. The Macworld report explains the differences between the 2 models are unclear, but the 2 most likely scenarios are either a larger screen size option or a lower-end version with fewer features. However, this is the first report to reveal those 2 display identifiers. Bloomberg previously referenced the model numbers last March. Mark Gurman said that Apple was developing both and would choose one to launch, or that both model numbers were separate products with a different screen size or set of specifications. Apple currently sells 2 external displays, including the Studio Display starting at $1,600 and the Pro Display XDR starting at $5,000. The Studio Display launched in 2022 alongside the Mac Studio, while the XDR launched in 2019 alongside the Mac Pro. The fact that both of these external displays are referenced in macOS 26.3 would suggest they are distinct products still in development. Whether or not Apple has plans to release both of them remains to be seen, but we should learn more soon, with Apple slated to announce multiple new products the week of March 12th. That wraps up another episode and another week of 9to5 Mac Daily. As always, if you like the show, please be sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts, where you can leave a rating and a review. You can find an ad-free version of the show at 9to5mac.com/join for $5 a month or $50 a year. Find all of the latest Apple news on 9to5mac.com. Follow along with me on Threads at Chance H. Miller, and we'll be back on Monday for a new week of Apple News.
Join us as we unravel the mystery of who killed Rachel Hansen.
I don't care about that, bro. Yes, death is